Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another Arc Raiders video. And in today's video, I want to give you my updated controller and overall settings guide, as well as explain how aim assist actually works in Arc Raiders. Now, shout out to the Tactical Brit for explaining this in his last video. However, our controller settings are different. So if you would like to try his controller settings, which I have, they are good, go ahead and watch his video and try his settings out. If you want to try mine out, feel free to do mine as well. I will link his video below so you can get a little bit better of the description of how aim assist works in here. I'm going to explain it as best as I can in my southern vernacular. So basically, aim assist in this game works this way. When you're aiming down sights in Call of Duty or Battlefield, you would have to do a rotational and keep tracking. In this game, it's basically just point and keep looking in the direction that it's going to go. That's the simplest terms possible. You kind of tell that it automatically locks on to where you're aiming at. But if the target is moving, if you see how it stays dead center right there, I can switch it to that and it'll stay on the wing. I can switch it back to the dead center and it'll stay on there as long as I'm looking the same direction that it's going. It works going left and right. It will also work if it's going up and down as well. Also, when it comes to people in the game, other raiders, it works the same exact way. You can kind of see if you go slowly, it kind of locks right there to the middle of it. You see how it pulls it directly to the middle? It also pulls to the head as well. It is like me actually forcing it to go past it. You can tell the difference of where it slows down and where it doesn't. And I'm just going straight forward and backwards. That's pretty much how aim assist works. It's more of a directional aim assist more so than it is anything else. I hope that explains aim assist to you. I hope it helps you out in the game. Comment and let me know below if it does help you out, or if you still think that aim assist isn't working in your game. Some people are saying aim assist doesn't work at all in this game. Some people are saying it's broken. I think it's perfectly fine. I will say this, you have to understand in this game, you're fighting against smart AI. The Arc will change its course of direction. It will figure out how to fight you differently while you're in the middle of a battle with it. So you have to be prepared for whatever's going to happen. But the best thing to do is if the Arc's not fighting you yet and you know you have to take it out, go ahead and pre-aim at the wings and take the wings out as fast as you possibly can. Those are the wings. Those are the weak spots on most of the flying Arc, like the Wasp and the Hornets. Now, as far as other settings in the game, make certain you go to your settings, and I'm going to go over every single thing that I use. I'm currently on an AMD 5600X with a 3070 graphics card. So I'm on PC using a controller, but these are my settings. They may help you out. They may not. Use them to your discretion, whatever you would like to do. They're not, this is what you need to use. These are my settings. These work for me the best on my computer. They may work for you on your computer or even on your console. Use them to your discretion. Change them if you need to fit whatever you're doing, and that's totally fine. But just use these as a guide, as a foundation of what you're doing. So the first and foremost thing that you need to be doing is make certain that under the gameplay tab, you have your HUD set to stretched. Leave your reload progress set to on, damage direction set to on. I use prioritize reload. I know there's a lot of people out there that say, don't use that. You don't need to use that. Use interact instead. I like reload because if I'm in the middle of a fight and I am fighting the Arc or another raider and I'm near something that I know I'm going to interact with, I would much rather reload my gun versus interacting with the item. Here are my full graphics settings. Now, I roughly get anywhere between 90 to 120 FPS, depending on the map and where we're at and how much action's going on in the map. But this is what I'm getting, and I'm running on pretty decent settings here as well. So, window mode, full screen borderless. I have the AMD frame generation set to disabled, VSync set to disabled. I run on plus boost for my low latency. I have unlimited frame rate and I'm running a 2K monitor. So I'm all the way upscaled to 100% on my 2K monitor. I do run the DLS on as well as the quality for the DLSS as well. I'm using Transformer for the DLSS model. Some people say use CNN, but I get pretty decent performance with the Transformer, but use either one of those, whichever one works better for you. You can read the details here of what they do as well. Field of view, I'm set all the way up to 80. I have the biggest field of view I can. Motion blur, no matter what you're on, turn motion blur off. If you have it on console, if you have it on PC, turn motion blur on. You don't want that. You'll get dizzy and sick and a bunch of other stuff. Don't have motion blur on. It's not worth it. I have my global illumination set to static. I feel like that works the best for what I'm doing right here. And then overall quality, this is what I'm going to run through, and I'm just going to tell you exactly what I'm running so you can see what's happening. These are, I haven't had an issue with the game yet with these, and they seem to run really, really good for me. So obviously custom, because I've obviously have my overall quality set to custom because we're fixing every single one of them as we go along. View distance set to medium, anti-aliasing set to epic. My shadows are set to medium. Post-processing is set to medium. My textures are set to epic. Effects set to medium, and then reflections and foliage both set to high, and global illumination resolution set to low. I get really solid FPS in the game. My game looks really crispy and really nice, and that's mainly because I make content and stream. It looks really good that way, and that's the way I like it. I really can't tell anything like as far as like a competitive advantage or anything like that. Really could care less about that. I'm here to have a good looking game and to play a good game, and this game is very good. So try these out as well. I have the simple in-game performance on so I can just see what my FPS is. And then idle energy saving, I have that set to enabled, but the window energy saving I have set to disabled. Another important one that you want to change here is the audio. Now I have mine set to output mode to the system default. Turn on your night mode. This is going to bring your high frequencies up and turn the low frequencies down in the game. This will help you hear footsteps better in the game as well when there's people around you. So make certain you got that turned on. I've got the next two turned on as well. Master volume set to 100, effects volume set to 35%, and I'll explain that one in just a moment when we get down to the proximity chat. Music I have turned off. I don't care about the music in the game. I know the music's great. I listened to it through Spotify. Music's phenomenal. But in game, I want to be able to hear what's going on around me in the game, so I have the music turned off. Dialogue volume I set to 100. I may be turning this one down very soon to probably around 80. If sometimes you're in the game and you first load into a game, you have missions that are going on, and the dialogue for those missions is very loud compared to the start of the game. So I'm probably going to be turning this down to 80, which I'm going to do right now as well. Voice chat, party chat, I have set to 130. I don't really use in-game voice chat. I use Discord, which most of you probably do as well. So I leave that one set to 130 just in case I were to use it. If I were loaded in randomly to a squad or something like that, 130 is fine. And then proximity chat, this is why I have my effects set to 35. I've learned that if you have the effects set to 100 and you have proximity chat set all the way up as well, you can't really hear the proximity chat if there's a fight going on or if there's something else happening. So I've learned that I can turn the effects down. It really doesn't affect too much in the game as far as overall volume. As far as like the arcs and everything, I'm still able to hear footsteps, still able to hear the arc, still able to hear gunfights and stuff like that off in the distance. So set that to 35. Proximity chat set to 200. That way you can hear people talking to you a little bit clearer and a little bit better in the game. Scroll down a little bit, set your microphones to whatever you've got them set to as well. And then this one's important also. If you are playing on a controller specifically and you want to have push to talk in the game, set your proximity voice chat mode to toggle. What you're going to do is if you're in the game and you want to talk to somebody and you're like, well, I don't want to have to hold it down while I'm moving around and stuff like that. If you press toggle and you press down on your D-pad, which is your push to talk on your controller, you will just hit it on once and you're talking in game. If you press it again, it turns it off versus having to hold down the D-pad while you're moving and looting at the same time. Just a little bit easier. It take your finger off the thumbstick for just a slight second, but it's just a little bit easier for you to use in game when you're trying to talk. Also, if you don't want to use this, turn the Raider voice off. This is the AI feature they have in the game. If you want to use it, use it. It's fun for a little bit, but you don't have to use this. I have mine turned off. I don't use it. And there's still people in the game thinking I'm using an AI voice. So it is what it is. It is what it is. So turn that off. You don't need that. Text, put this on whatever you want to do. If you're old, have it large. If you're young, have it small. If you're somewhere in the middle, have it medium. Whatever you want to do. Doesn't matter to me. And then background, so you can see it stands out a little bit better from your background. Have it about 15%. This one's important. This section here, accessibility, is very important. What you need to do is scroll down to crosshair. Make certain that override crosshair shape is set to on. Now, what's going to happen here is that in the game, every gun has a different crosshair. If you have this set to on, every single gun will have the same exact crosshair for whatever you're going to use. What I've come to find out is there's two that are the best. The circle is probably the best crosshair to use in the game. So I recommend using either the circle or the rounded diamond. Some people have said use the angled radial lines as well, but I've come to really like the circle. So use the circle. I have my crosshair center dot turned off. I feel like you don't really need that in this game. So just have the circle on, have the center dot turned off. Put your thickness at 1, the outer thickness at 0. Crosshair opacity set to 70. And then I'm using the green. The green seems to show up really well on this game, especially in dark parts of the map. When you're underground in Blue Gate, when you're inside buildings where it's dark and you can't really see, the green circle stands out very, very well for your sights. So set everything to green all the way to 255. Everything else down to 0. Set the outer green as well to 255. It's going to stand out very, very well. I don't use a mouse and keyboard. If you use mouse and keyboard, props to you. I just can't do it. Got nothing against y'all at all. But I just can't do mouse and keyboard. It's not my thing. I am a controller guide, and this is what we're here for. Controller settings. So, aim assist. We talked about it earlier in the video. Have your aim assist turned on. Remember, your aim assist is directional. It's the same way you're looking, but also remember the AI and raiders are very smart in this game. The AI will learn how you fight in this game, and it will recorrect itself in the game to fight you from a different angle. And I have noticed also from playing this game from day one, the AI is getting smarter overall throughout the game. Not just when you individually fight it, but overall in the game it's getting way smarter. So, directional aim assist, make certain you're aiming and looking the same exact direction that you want to shoot, and you will be able to track along with that. I have prioritized reload set to on. I talked about it earlier. I think it's better that way. So make certain you have that set to prioritize reload for your reload behavior. Horizontal, input, and vertical. I have those set to off. I said it in my previous video, and I'm going to say it again. If you play with input that is inverted, you are a psychopath. Nothing wrong with it. I just think you're crazy. So there's that. Horizontal sensitivity set to 90. Vertical set to 70. Zoom sensitivity set to 25. Scoped zoom sensitivity set to 50. I use linear. As far as my response curve, I feel like it's the better one out of all 3 of the response curves that you can use. Some people use sinusoidal. That's more like the dynamic like it was in Call of Duty and Battlefield. But I feel like linear is the best in this game. As far as your dead zones, if you have stick drift, make certain that you turn your dead zones down as low to 0 as you possibly can. I've got my look set to 5, my movement set to 10. Don't go above 15 if you can't, but that's where mine are set to, but set them until you don't have stick drift. That's going to help you out tremendously. Now, here is where the Tactical Brit and I differ on our sensitivity settings. Big time. He says from horizontal look boost all the way down to the ramp time up, set those to 0 that you don't need them. I disagree. I think you do need them in the game, and I think the aim assist is even more powerful when you have these turned on in the game. So horizontal look boost set to 140, vertical look boost set to 120, the look boost ramp up time set to 0.5. And then for the zoom horizontal, set that to 70. For zoom vertical, set that to 60. And also for the zoom look boost ramp up time, set that to 0.4. If this video helps you out, or if you want to see more Arc Raiders content, make certain you smash that subscribe button right now. Also hit the thumbs up on this video as well. That helps me out tremendously. And comment below if these settings helped you or if you think they're absolutely bogus. I would love to know. I would love to know what you're using and what's helped you out in the game. Also, let me know what other Arc Raiders tips and tricks you would like to know. I'm getting more and more in depth on some Arc Raiders videos and tips and tricks specifically for controller players on how to help you get better at Arc Raiders. As always, I love you guys. I mean it. Thank you so much for watching the video, and I'll see you in the next one.